Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to today's video. So today I am back to film my week 3 check-in for February's budget. So we're going to be going through our variable expenses, seeing how much we've spent so far this past week, comparing it to our budget, seeing where we're at in terms of, you know, all of those expenses, and then we'll also take a look at our sinking funds. So let's go ahead and get into it. The categories that I track every single week are groceries, eating out, household, gas for our cars, and then unbudgeted. And then I do track all of my expenses here in my monthly view. So the way that I keep track of like what I've recorded and what I haven't are these little squares. Once I've included an expense in my weekly check-in, I go ahead and check it off. That way I know where we're starting. So it looks like all of the expenses up until the 18th have been recorded. So we really don't have very much to record, which is kind of nice. I know that Jason did fill up on gas sometime while we were like at Disney. Me and my oldest daughter Macy went to Disney. Jason and Mila stayed back. And so I don't have that receipt with me, so I'll have to add that in after the fact, but I just figured I'd mention that. So let's go ahead and start with groceries. So for groceries, we spent $90.02 at Aldi. Jason tries to do the majority of our grocery shopping at Aldi if possible. They have really good prices, and the majority of what we need is there, but then there's a few times where he has to get other stuff. So that is why he goes to Jewel. That was $30.28 at Jewel. And that wraps it up for groceries for the week so far. I do think I'm going to take a trip to either Target or Woodman's or something like that. I want to pick up some yogurt and other things. I'm trying to get back into just eating healthier and eating more protein, and so there's some yogurt that I wanted to pick up that has really high protein, so I'm gonna probably do that at some point. So we spent a total of $120.30. Last time we checked in, we had $347.14 remaining, so that means that we have $226.84 remaining. And let's take a look at the number of weeks we have left. So we have 1 week remaining, which means that we have $226.84 for that last week. So just for some reference, we do budget groceries on a weekly basis. So I take a look at how many Mondays or Tuesdays we have in the month, and I multiply that by $175. $175 is pretty good for us in terms of groceries. So looking at this, we obviously have about $50 more than what we need, which is awesome. It gives me an idea like, okay, this would be a good time to stock up on some like frozen stuff. If I want to pick up a bunch of yogurt, this would be a good time to do that. So anyway, that's good to know. Next is going to be eating out. So like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, me and Macy went to Disney this past weekend, and so a lot of the eating out ended up not happening as usual because of that. So me and Macy did go out to eat a lot. The majority of that trip was eating out, but that was included in our like vacation fund and all of that. But Jason and Mila did pick up some stuff, and then when we got back, we picked up some stuff eating out wise, just because we didn't have time to like meal plan or anything like right on that moment. So Jason and Mila split something at McDonald's. I think they got like breakfast at McDonald's one day right before they went to a water park, so that was $5.75 at McDonald's. And then we picked up McDonald's again. Me and Jason split a mocha, and then I think we just got like cheeseburgers or something really quick. For dinner on Monday, we had Panda. That was $24.20. We did like teriyaki chicken and all of that. And then I did get Starbucks for $10. I didn't have any milk at the office, and I also didn't have any like breakfast or anything, so $10 there. And then $9 at Dunkin'. So that brings us to a total spent of $62.88 for eating out. $62.88. Last time we checked in, we had $38.26. So we are negative. I'm trying to find my red pen. It may actually be in my backpack. Let me go check. I honestly should probably have more than one red pen, but that's okay. So $24. Oops, I think this one is actually running out. Actually, no, it shouldn't be. I need to like use a scratch piece of paper or something though. Let's see. I don't know why, but when I was like doing my recap for crap. I cleared it out. So we spent $62.88 and we had $38.26, which means that we are over $24.62. So this is just kind of the nature of it. Obviously, we're doing very well for groceries, which means that instead of eating at home and like, you know, making coffee at home, we've been eating out a little bit more. Some of that just has to do with convenience. Like honestly, guys, when you know, we did a lot of traveling or whatever, nobody wants to go in the car and spend more time in a car to go grocery shopping, but it is what it is. I always kind of look at those two as like, okay, as long as together we're not over much, then that's great. So we'll just go into the rest of the month knowing like, okay, we are over on eating out, so let's try and eat at home as much as we can. And if we do eat out, just know that, you know, we're going to be risking being over there. Next, we're going to take a look at household. So household is in green, and it looks like we had no household items that we purchased, so that is awesome. So I can go ahead and put 0 here, and that means that we have $18.47 remaining. That's not very much, but I think we're good. I did accidentally throw out my toothbrush when we were on vacation, so I do need to get a new toothbrush. I'm using one of the girls' toothbrushes right now, and they're like little tiny itty bitty toothbrushes, so I definitely need to go ahead and get a new one. And then for gas, we've spent $0 because I do not have that gas receipt, which means that we have $92.81 remaining. So once I get that receipt and record it, I'll put it on the date that it actually happened, because I'm really huge on making sure that I track it like on that specific date. But I will go like back and record it in week 4. So I'll just make sure I include the expense for the gas on week 4. So that is everything for variable expenses. So as you can tell, besides eating out, we're doing pretty well. Again, I think we just need to go into the rest of the month knowing that if we spend any money eating out, that it's going to be over, and that's okay. But also we wouldn't be able to necessarily like stock up on stuff in groceries if we're going to be over, because I do like those to be pretty equal. So that's good. Gas for heating our home ended up being $115.90, so it was $34.10 under budget, so that's awesome. And then let's take a look at our sinking funds. So I mentioned in a previous video about car stuff. So we have no immediate plans to purchase a new car. Honestly, I think I've mentioned this in that past video too, but me and Jason are huge believers that like you should just drive a car until you can't possibly drive it. Like if the repairs become more than what the car's worth, then definitely not worth it. But in terms of like getting new cars, we don't ever really get new cars unless we absolutely need them. So the Prius is going to be around for a while, although I do think it'd be really nice to have a new like minivan. It's not going to happen. There's so many other things in life that I would rather spend money on than a car. So anyway, I did go ahead and I called our insurance company. I bumped our car insurance for the Prius down to just liability, so we no longer have full coverage. So instead of being like over $1,000 every month, now our insurance for the next 6 months is $859.09. Me and Jason were kind of talking about it. We've been with our car insurance, and like honestly all of our insurance is through the same provider. We've been with them since we got married almost 10 years ago, and it may be a good time to call around and try and see if we can get better prices. Obviously, we'll make sure that we have the same coverage, but in terms of prices, I've noticed that the prices have just been going up, and we've had no reason besides like, you know, inflation and stuff for them to go up. So we're just going to kind of look around the next time that our car insurance is up, and we'll kind of see how that goes. In terms of other related items, in terms of sinking funds, so I think I mentioned Valentine's Day. I picked up some clothes for Macy. Jason and the girls went to a water park near us on President's Day, so that was $18.50 for that. That came out of entertainment. Jason picked up a couple shirts from Hollister. So the first set was $45.59. Then he spent $13.17 in store. So I think he's going to do a return at some point. But anyway, that came out of his clothes sinking fund. And then Jason took Mila to the pool when we were gone. So that was $12 that came out of entertainment. We got all new wiper blades for our cars, so Jason spent $25.96 and then $69.63 that came out of our car maintenance for those blades. My car absolutely needed this because my back window wiper was like constantly just like falling off, and it was not working very well. I noticed in Jason's car as well that the blades just didn't keep the front window very clear, so it was something that we definitely needed. That came out of car maintenance. And then me and Jason went to the Melting Pot for dinner for Valentine's Day. It was actually like the day after. So we spent $79.61 out of our Christmas sinking fund. Christmas is kind of like a catch-all. It's like Christmas and gifts. It's for like special occasions. So up here we spent money on like Valentine's Day gifts, and then we spent it on our date. Honestly, besides like going to lunch every so often during the day, me and Jason don't get a ton of times to like go on actual dates, like off of company time. So it was really nice to get to do that right before me and Macy took our trip. I'm still waiting for some final transactions to like clear for our vacation. The majority of what we spent, like paying for the actual tickets and then paying for our flights, we've already paid for. It was more just like snacks and little like souvenirs and things like that. So the majority of it I've already recorded. It's actually on the next page, but I'm still waiting for some of it. So once that occurs, I'll take a look and say like, okay, do I want that to come out of our entertainment and vacation sinking fund, or do I want that to just come out of our regular savings? So I handle things a little different. I think this kind of changed after we bought the new house, because I was like, okay, there's all these different things happening. When we bought the new house, obviously there's expenses related to that, but then we were like furnishing our new house, and so I was like, okay, do I make a sinking fund for like all the new things that we're adding to the house, or do I just take that directly out of savings? So the way that I do a lot of things is, if it's something for the house, not like a normal home maintenance type of thing, but like something that's like furniture, like for example, Mila, we bought her a new desk recently. That came directly out of our savings. And then when I bought the tickets and everything for Disney, that came right out of our savings, because the majority of our sinking funds, like we don't have huge balances in them. And so some of these things, like, you know, a Disney trip, that's obviously not going to be funded directly from these sinking funds. So we do put money aside every single month into savings. It's everything that's left over after, you know, we take our income minus all of our expenses. Whatever else is left over goes directly into our savings. And that's kind of a catch-all savings. It's not meant for anything specific. It's honestly for, you know, just life. If we decide that we want to purchase something big, for example, I've mentioned wanting to get like a new driveway, our savings we could use for like the new driveway. Or if we decided we wanted to go on like a really big vacation, we could use it for that. So it's kind of like an all-encompassing fund where like we can pull from if we really want to. It's not set for anything specific. We're paying off our house early already, like without the savings. So I figured I'd mention that. I know sinking funds are kind of like savings for, you know, for some people. They think of it like, oh, I'm saving into all these different buckets. I don't like to put a ton of money into sinking funds when I don't know something specific is happening. So for example, in the past, like when me and Jason went on our 5-year anniversary cruise, I knew when we were going to go and I knew how much it was going to cost, so I was okay with putting that money in the sinking funds. But with the Disney trip, it was kind of like a last minute thing. My sister was like, hey, we're going to have an extra room, you should come stay with us. So it wasn't something that I was like necessarily planning for a very long time. So yeah, anyway, hopefully that makes sense. I get a lot of questions about savings and sinking funds and all of the fun stuff that goes along with budgeting. And my biggest takeaway from that is I think every single person has to do what's best for them and what works for them when it comes to budgeting. If you're trying to stick to exactly the way that I do it, it's not going to work for you. And I feel like even the way that you're doing it right now, depending on the circumstances, you may need to make adjustments as you go. Because I never in the past used to use our savings for other things. Like I was just like, okay, let's build our savings. And now I'm like, okay, we're in our dream home. We're planning on staying here forever. If we want to buy something new for the house, like we're going to use our savings for that. And that's okay. Like it's okay to save money and then end up using that money. So anyway, that is a little recap of the 3rd week of February. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will definitely be back next week to finalize my budget and take a look at the final week. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely keep an eye out for tomorrow's plan with me, and I will hopefully be back next week with another budgeting video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.
The sun